actually fairly dramatic development.
Yes, very dramatic. The bottom line is that Judge Eva Getz found it necessary to put Dad, Jamie Spears, in charge of, it's called a temporary conservator, in charge of all of her medical situation. He gets to review all of her medical records and make any medical decisions. But what's more interesting to me is the financial aspect of it. Andrew Wallet, who's been approved by the court, and Jamie Spears together take control of all of her financial assets. This is all temporary until February 4th. This means that all of her credit cards are canceled, including the ones that Sam Lupi has. It means that all the locks on the house at Summit are going to be changed, and Sam Lupi is going to be asked to move out. And that law enforcement can be called if he tries to get in. And also, unfortunately or fortunately, there's it's called a civil harassment restraining order against Sam Lupi that the court granted. So I'm not 100% sure what that means. A civil harassment restraining order.
Well, basically means the parents want to make sure that they can.
And that's a good point. The only person who gets to decide who gets to visit Britney now is Dad, Jamie Spears, who in court, if you can see, he was actually tearing up. He was very emotional, he was very somber, and a couple times his eyes were bloodshot red with tears in his eyes. He's now, thank God, going to control everything that has to do with Britney so that it won't fall in the hands of people who have other motives, that kind of thing. They did not address Adnan, the boyfriend. But again, all of this is a temporary situation until February 4th. At that point, they can prolong it, make it longer. The only thing that's longer is the restraining order for Sam for 21 days. What else did they say in there?
So basically, they felt that their daughter's life was clearly spiraling out of control. They felt it was time to step in. And the judge seemed to agree, at least for the next 4 days.
Right. It's not very long. Oh, the judge also said that she's a flight risk and a kidnap risk, which was kind of interesting. Meaning, she can't, if she does get out of Westwood, out of UCLA anytime soon, she can't jump in a car with Adnan and go to Mexico, which she's known to do. She can't leave California, and it's only for a few days, and she also is going to have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week security so that she won't sneak out or that she won't get, quote, kidnapped. I mean, this is the way I understand it. It's all legalese in there, right? I mean, it's like, how do you decipher things? But
no, it's very complicated.
That's
just a quick on the shoulder. No, I'm a lawyer, and I'm sitting there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm taking notes. I'm going, this is... So wait a minute, because it was unclear at first who the conservative was. We knew who the lawyers were representing, but apparently now we know.
Yeah.
It sounds like... Are you surprised that Lynn isn't the conservative?
I thought they would both be together, but I think Jamie filed the original petition, so it was Jamie's idea, basically, so the judge granted Jamie control. Now, Jamie and Lynn are divorced, but they work very closely together in taking care of their daughter, so I'm sure Lynn will be kept in a tight loop about what Jamie's decisions are. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised, but Jamie is a little bit more removed. Lynn and Britney have a long-standing, volatile feud between them. So I think Jamie's a little bit removed enough to make accurate decisions.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Sure.
I mean, that was very dramatic. I mean, you really saw it. And Blair Burke seemed very pleased with all of these, because I was sitting right next to her. She's going,
Yeah.
Clearly,
well, we knew when they came out of chambers,
she
when they're all nutty.
She said, do you know what that means? She was sitting there. Do you understand what that means? So she was very pleased.
Right.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
Alicia, did they say anything about Allie or her cousins or any of her friends that still hang out with Britney, even the assistant? They didn't talk about Allie, their assistant.
Not specifically, but the fact that Jamie gets to call the shots and who comes and visits Britney probably means that Allie is out, Adnan is out, Sam is out.
Yeah.
Carla, her assistant, is out. That's my guess. I think Dad has really his daughter's best interest at heart. Stay there. If it's going to extend for another 14 days, stay there. At this point, we're hearing she's still refusing medication, right?
Right.
So
is the father going to be living in with Britney at her estate at the Summit, or does Britney go back to Louisiana?
Well, at this point, Britney's probably going to stay at UCLA, even though it hasn't been official, for another 14 days, and then they can decide to keep her even longer.
Is she still under the 5150 then, or is now changed?
It's 72 hours, so we've got another day or two more on this 5150.
To find out.
And then a judge can decide if she has to stay for 14 more days. But according to all the insiders, say, it's going to be another 14 days. Now, Jamie just lives over the hill from Britney, so I doubt he's going to move into Britney's house. But what's for sure is Sam's getting thrown out.
Right. So now it's official that there's going to be documentation that Sam has a restraining order
Sam has a civil harassment restraining order against him.
against him. He cannot see Britney.
He cannot see Britney, and he can't approach the family in any way.
And any 100 feet or whatever they,
Well,
you know.
we won't get the documents till tomorrow, but I'm
Okay.
sure. I'm
Or
not sure what the difference is. I don't know the difference between a physical restraining order and a civil harassment restraining
Oh,
order.
okay. But he could still be in contact with her on the phone.
No, he can't call Britney. No phone contact. The only person who's allowed to have
The father.
contact is the dad. Now, if dad says, "Do you want to talk to mom?" That's fine.
Yeah.
But Britney can't pick up the phone. Right now, on a 72-hour, she has the right to call anybody. That's now just been changed.
Oh, okay.
She has the right to see anybody she wants and to use a phone under the 51. I think it turns into 5112.
Yeah.
That's been stopped right now.
Yeah.
Dad is now in control.
They didn't say anything about the kids. Can she call the kids and talk to the kids on the phone? Would Kevin let her talk to the
That's
kids?
a very good question.
I mean, nothing was brought up about the kids. It was all about the restraining order
Now,
against
the
Sam.
court earlier had granted Britney the right to have telephonic conversations with her kids. So
Yeah.
I think that would still be.
Well, now that
decided-
the father's involved now.
I think it'd be decided between the father, the psychiatrist, and medical personnel. Is it a good idea for her to talk to her kids? Will it spin her into another manic episode, especially because she's not taking her medication?
Yeah.
So chances are it's not a good idea for her to get activated by talking to her kids.
Gotcha.
My
Gotcha.
guess.
Well, thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
giving us all this information.
Can we get your name on paper?
Yes, Lycia Naff.
How do you spell your last name?
Lycia, Lycia. N like in Nancy, A like in apple, F like in Frank, F like in Frank. I should have dyed my roots if I knew this was going to
That's
happen.
good. And where you from?
Nah.
Okay, Mexican.
Thank you, Alicia.
Undercover investigative reporter.
Very
Not
good
anymore.
job. Yeah.
Not
Thank you
anymore.
very much.
You got it. Thanks. Yeah, even though Blair Book kept going, do you understand what that means? She wanted him to be happy, but he just kept a really stern look. He had water in his eyes a couple of times. Her eyes were very bloodshot. It looked like he'd been crying all night. Finally, you saw at the end of court, Mom, Lynn, crack a smile. She started to smile. She looked very happy. But during court, walking out in between lunches, they were very grim, really. I mean, they didn't know if they were going to win.
Thank you. And what time did it end, the court?
I don't know. Hold on. Oops. Hello? Yes?
He's stealing.
Yeah, I'm going to meet you at UCLA in a second. Just head over there and I'll see you in a second. Okay, no worries. Okay, cool. Thanks.
I'm just going to ask you real quick. If Sam shows up to go visit Britney at UCLA, can he get arrested?
Yeah.
Who's going to call the police?
Well,
I mean, does it have to be the father? Can he sneak in without the father knowing?
no, because
Britney's not doing a restraining order against him. Britney will still see him, though, right?
I think what's going to happen is, I don't know if you called that desk to see when visiting hours. You can't even find out what visiting hours are for her unless your name is on a list and approved to find out. So now Sam Lucci's name is off of the list.
Okay.
Because she's got a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week security guard at her room, my guess is security for the mental ward will call.
Okay, would he know? Who would inform him that there is a restraining order? The father would call the hospital? Lynn will call, Mr. Spears will call the hospital and say, do not let Sam in.
I think so.
Pretty much, right?
I think since Jamie Spears has temporary conservatorship over
He'll
all
probably
of his
be
medical,
over there.
He's probably there filling in staff and backed by his attorneys.
Yeah. Do you know if he's still inside the courthouse or is he out already?
It's a good question. I don't know. That I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that one because I kind of wanted to follow him.
Yeah.
Don't.
No.
That part.